1817, Tennessee. The Bell family was terrorized by something. Something that would go down in history as one of the most chilling paranormal encounters of all time.
Voices in the walls, slaps in the night. The entity, known later as the Bell Witch, had a singular target, John Bell. The curse? A slow and agonizing death. He died, foaming at the mouth, in what can only be described as a final, horrific act of retribution.
But it didn't stop there. The entity didn't just torment the family, it frightened the entire community. In fact, President Andrew Jackson himself fled the house in terror.
Imagine that, a sitting president who had faced the British in battle, saying he'd rather confront them again than deal with the Bell Witch. It wasn't just a local legend. This was something so terrifying, it made even the toughest men quake in fear.
Jackson's experience was one of many strange accounts. People reported hearing strange noises, seeing objects move on their own, and even feeling invisible forces strike them. And yet, the Bell Witch seemed to focus solely on John Bell, the patriarch of the family.
Yes, it was like the entity had a vendetta against him. It was almost personal. Local legend has it that John Bell was a man of great integrity, his reputation spotless. So why him? Why did the witch choose to torment him above all others?
That's one of the enduring mysteries. Some say it was connected to land disputes, while others believe it might have been something much older. Perhaps the witch was tied to an ancient curse, passed down through generations, waiting for a family like the Bells to awaken it.
But there's also speculation that the haunting was tied to the family's interactions with a neighbor. Some believe that a woman, who had been accused of witchcraft, cursed the Bells as revenge for an insult. There's no solid proof, but it does add an extra layer of complexity to the story.
That's the thing with these legends, isn't it? There are always conflicting theories. But what's consistent is the sheer terror the family went through. And it wasn't just John. His wife, Lucy, and their children, each of them had their own terrifying encounters with this entity.
It's almost as if the witch was trying to break them down psychologically. The voices, the slaps, the physical torment. It wasn't just about causing fear. It was about destabilizing their sense of reality. Imagine living in constant dread, never knowing when or how the next attack would come.
It's chilling to think about. And that idea of living in constant fear, in your own home no less, is something that continues to resonate with people today. The Bell Witch might be a relic of the past, but its influence, it's still alive in our collective imagination.
Absolutely. The haunting didn't end with John Bell's death. The Bell Witch allegedly lingered for years, tormenting the remaining family members. Eventually, the family moved away, but the stories of their suffering lived on, becoming part of local folklore.
And despite the passage of time, the legend of the Bell Witch still captures the public's imagination. It's been the subject of countless books, documentaries, and even movies. Something about it feels timeless, as though it's a story that never quite ends.
The legend endures, in part because of its eerie mix of history and mystery. It's one of those rare cases where the supernatural event was witnessed by so many, and yet it leaves us with more questions than answers. What really happened in that house? What was the nature of the entity, and why did it choose to haunt the Bell family?
Those questions may never be answered, but one thing is certain. The Bell Witch story continues to haunt Tennessee and the world all these years later.
And maybe that's the true power of the Bell Witch, its ability to make us question not just the supernatural, but the very nature of fear itself. What makes something so terrifying that it can survive centuries?
Perhaps that's something we'll never fully understand. But as long as the story is told, the Bell Witch will remain a shadow, forever lurking just out of reach. End of episode.